the first, the what is the React.js means? So the React.js is not a framework. This is a library. Okay, so which is used to build the UI basically and connected with your uh, the backend parts like the APIs. You can connect with them, but the all of the code will written in the JavaScript. So this is a combination of the HTML and the JavaScript, which is called the JSX. So here the JavaScript library is using to build your the React.js interface. There is some compiler like a Babel, which is responsible to convert all of the data, all of the your code. It's a browser compatibility because browser is not understand directly the JSX code. So JS using the just JavaScript typically is not a great option. Why? Because writing is if you are writing the JavaScript code, it is a very big and every component you need to write, every function, every the inbuilt code is there is not available, so you need to write a lot of the code for that. There is a complex JavaScript code is a very um, very big, and there is a error prone the area are available there. But in the React.js as a library, we are getting a lot of the functions and inbuilt methods which are going to directly use in the React.js, which is developed only in the JavaScript. So okay, complex JavaScript code often is hard to maintain and hard to the edit. Okay, so React offers a simple mental model. There is a component based. So you can create your all of the code, all of the UI part in a different of component, and that component contains only their related code. So it is a very easy to maintain, easy to develop. Multiple of people can work on a single page within the React.js. Now, what is the difference between the React.js and JavaScript? So, if we are going to the JavaScript first, so here you can see that here we are writing a simple code, which is the document.select query is a button is our button element which is available in the HTML page. So there is a two or three options. We are able to get the button element on the JavaScript by using the query selector, by using the document get element by ID, or by using the class name. Okay, so here for example, we are going to add we are going to try to get the button element in the JavaScript. There is a query selector we are using in it. So if you are see that we are getting the button element, we are using the user.login, and here we are suppose it is login is correct, then we are going to set the text connect as a continue. Otherwise we are test connect for this button is a login, and after that is button is it is these things is updated. Then we need to document dot body append button, then we need to append the button on the body. So these are the potential way to work in the JavaScript. But if whenever you are goes to the React.js, you can do this on the single page and with a single logic. So there is the content. The condition is the same as the previous. User is logged in, but the content is going to the button. So we are passing the HTML element in it. So we are passing the HTML element in it instead of the getting the element and append that. So here, if it is logged in, then content will contains the this button. Otherwise, this content will be written contains this button element. So we are going to pass the element directly and return the content. Whatever the content will contains, which will be written. So it is how easy the React.js is directly. Actually, the JavaScript and HTML both are the working together. But here both are the different ways. Means your JavaScript file is different and the HTML file will be different. They cannot be combined with each other, and they are not working together. But in React.js, everything, every component of the JS and the HTML will work together. So that's why it is a very easy and easy to use. If you have ever worked with the ASP, do you know about any one of the ASP? So before that, there was the ASP, the language. So that is that was a single page application. So in that single page application, you can write your Visual Studio, the sorry, Visual Basic Code, or the and the HTML. Both are the combined in it. So if you Visual Studio Code and your HTML will work as it is there in the React.js. But that was the Visual Studio Code. You know about that. This is a server side code, so it will execute on the server side. But in the React.js, it is a client side. So every component is executing on the client side basis. So that's why it is a fast. React.js is also a single page application. So, and do you have any question query?
No, nothing else. Nothing else.
Okay, so what is a JavaScript refresher? So JavaScript refresher has some components, some contents here is a basic syntax and rules, because JavaScript has some syntaxes and rules. So if you have defined a variable name, like in capital letters, then you need to use the that variable name in a same capital letters. Otherwise, it will define that it is a different variable. So there is a syntaxes basically, and the variable names and operators are there. So there are a lot of operators: equals to, not equals to, greater than, less than. So these are the operators they are using. Functions are the piece of the block of the code which is reusable whenever you want to use that. So function are the different type of. There is a non-parameterized function and the parameterized functions. So like objects is contains the set of the data it is in form of any of the type of data type. Arrays is again the set of the data, uh, but it is in a same data type of the array. So control structures. There is a they are the controlling of the structure. Means whenever you are using the your objects or array, then it is controlling your structure, how you are using in that. And the APIs are using to call the API to get the data, insert the data for the third party of the backend backend languages. Like the API can be built in any of the language, like C Sharp, Java, the Java, or the Python. Any of the languages can be written. So these are the essential features used by the React. So now, if you are going to the environment, so there are the two type of the environments in the React. So in the browser based and the on the any computer based. So whenever you are calling of the browser based, then the part is a web, that is a website. So JavaScript code can be included in any website. Okay, then the code then executes inside the browser on the machine of the website visitor. So these are the JavaScript. The JavaScript is only for the browser. Um, so for the website directly, you can write your code in it. But whenever you are goes to the server side code, then you need to use the Node.js. So if you are using the JavaScript for the Node.js, but it is a server side. So Node.js is a part of the lot of the that actually Node.js is a framework, not a library. So Node.js is providing a lot of the features to provide our React.js application to develop that. So here, that is the main part is the npm. Npm is used to um, install the packages, the required packages in our project. Okay, so JavaScript code can be executed outside of the browser too, but the our code will execute on the browser, but before that we need to compile our code and convert them as a browser compatibility. So here JavaScript code to a website. So here if you are seeing that the script tag. Okay, so in the JavaScript you can directly write that script alert hello and script. So if you are writing that, then alert will be present on the browser with the hello world. Okay, but if you want to make a separate JavaScript file, then you can create your separate JavaScript file and then you need to import them. So import is the this way. The script src your script file with the path, with the complete path. Okay, so it will be added in the HTML file. So I hope you all know about these things, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so here the React projects use a build process. So how they are going to build the code here. So the raw or the unprocessed React code would not execute in the browser. I told you that. And JSX is not a default JavaScript feature. So this is a React.js feature, which is providing the React.js to build our code, including HTML and JavaScript. In addition, the code would not be optimized for a production. Okay, so there is a no any mini file like that. So we need to build them. So React projects require a build process that transforms your code. So you need to build your code and give the such the build over a process for that. Value types. So there are the string, number, boolean, null, and undefined. So if you are talking about the string is a simple the quotes, single quotes or the double quotes we need. That is called the string. Number number is any number of that is a negative, positive, float. So these are the numbers. Booleans are the true or false. Only yes or no. They can be a boolean. Null and undefined, this is a very important thing. Null and undefined, so most of the interviews and the client also call ask them what is the difference between null and undefined. So people are saying that uh, whenever we are not assign any value in the variable, then it is null. Whenever we are not declare the value the variable, that is undefined. Okay, so whenever it is true that whenever you are not assigning the variable, means you are not declaring the variable, that is undefined. But null is a value. Null is not a blank. Null is a value which is provided by the any programming language whenever you are going to create your code. Okay, so suppose I am setting the var x. So it means it is defined. I have defined, but I am not assigned the value in it. So that is undefined. But whenever I am putting in inside of that is equals to null. It is a null is a value. So we are providing the null. So that is the null value. So null is explicitly assigned by the developer. Okay, not it is not automatically come. But undefined is that the default if no value was assigned yet. So that is a undefined. Clear this one?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, understood.
Okay, variables are data containers. So again, the what is the variables? Variables are the data containers. They store the values in the variables. There are two type of the variables are available in the coming in the current JavaScript. That is the let and var. let, where, and const. Okay. So what is the difference between let and where? Anyone know?
Let is block scope, where is global scope.
What do you mean by the block scope?
Suppose if you declare it in a function, the value can be only has the accessibility within the function. For example, if you declare it a var, the entire
Mhm.
JavaScript file also can access the variable, for example. So
Okay.
for example, if you put a login function and use
Mhm.
let user equal to some value, that let
Mhm.
user value would only be accessible within the function. If you want to access it outside the function, it won't be accessible. Yes.
Okay. For example, I'm writing here. Okay. Suppose I have this piece of code. Suppose that is a where x is equals to 10, and if condition suppose it is true, and I'm writing the x is equals to 20. So if it is this is a code, then what is the output of x? Anyone?
It will be 20.
It will be 20, right? And suppose I am writing here where, then what is the output of x?
Yeah,
It
10,
will
I
be
think.
10, 10, 10,
10.
10.
Why? Why?
Because that var is for if block. So if you print x inside the if block, it will show 20 there. Now the scope has become global scope. Here, the outside variable x value will be assigned now.
No, it is 20. I'm showing you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to create a HTML file,
Okay.
and I am including them. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
Script src equals to. Okay. So it is a 20. Why? Because
Overwritten because same variable name and
name
name
is
is
same,
same
but
and
this is where is a
uh,
global variable.
correct.
Okay, so suppose I am writing instead of the where, I'm writing the let. Then what will be the output of x?
Now 10 only. Now 10 only.
Yes, now it is a 10 only. Okay, now suppose I am writing this let to where. Is it possible?
Oh, you have error, no, because same name cannot be have multiple declarations. Some error. I forgot
But
the name.
we are able to multiple declaration with let.
Yeah, let is default scope. So if you declare it or not, it is taken as let only.
Suppose I am removing this one. Then what is the output of x?
Yeah, 10, no, 10 only.
20
20. Okay.
or 10? 20.
Okay. 20.
Okay. Because here let is treated as a global variable.
Okay. Okay.
Whenever you are writing the let inside of the any of the block, then
Hmm.
that is the scope of that block.
Okay. Okay.
If you are writing outside of that, then it is a global variable.
Global scope. Okay. Okay, sure.
So whenever we are saying that variable is a global scope and that is the
Block
block
scope.
scope,
Uh,
so that is not a true,
okay, correct, correct,
right? Here we have got the example. We are whenever we are writing the let inside of the scope, then that is the scope of that.
correct,
But
correct.
here the scope is starting from here,
Yeah, because it's enter JS file, you're declaring it. Yes, correct,
right?
correct.
So so this type of the confusing type of the questions are asking the client to the developers.
Okay.
So okay, so that's why I'm taking the time on it. Okay, so now what is the difference between the const and let?
Difference between, can you repeat again, sir?
Const, const, const.
Const. Uh,
Yes.
const is like if you have predefined value, for example, pi. Pi is a mathematical word. For example, it stores a value of 3.14. You can
Hmm.
declare it as const pi equal to 3.14. But if you don't want to, that is when it has a fixed value. If you don't want to, if you want to have a value that changes, for example, say like example here, x value gets changed from 10 to 20. For such
Hmm.
type of things, you can declare it as let or var. But for fixed variables, you can only declare it as const.
Yeah. Right. But whenever you say to the any client, say that const is the constant value. Whenever you have defined the first, you cannot change that.
Yeah, we cannot change it. Correct.
Or you cannot declare that again.
Correct.
Okay. So here, suppose I am writing the const. Now, what is the output of x?
I think you'll get console error, runtime error,
Exactly. So here you can see that uncached type error assigned to the constant
const variable.
variable. You cannot assign value again in the const.
Const, correct.
Okay. So here, if I'm writing the const again here, x is to 20, then
Hmm. 10 would be output now.
10 will be the output now.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Because it is a block scope
Block
area
scope.
different.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. So suppose I have, I'm removing this one. Instead of the value, I have an array. Okay. And I'm going to update the value of array to 40.
Yeah.
Now, what will
The
happen?
new value would be 10, 40, 30 array value because arrays are considered as objects which are mutable on JavaScript.
Right.
Correct.
So this is the correct answer. And v constant is a constant, but it is not constant with the objects.
Correct.
Fine. 10, 40, 30.
Correct.
Okay. Move to another slide. Anyone have any question, doubt?
They are much more experienced people.
Experienced people means
They should know all this. Yes.
pardon?
They'll know all this. Yes.
Okay. So move to the next slide.
You can. You can. Yes.
Okay, so the functions. So there are the functions. We have the without parameters functions. We have the parameterized functions, and we have the return values and not return values. Okay, so functions are always whenever you are talking in the front end code side. So in the JavaScript, you can return the value from the function, or you cannot return. There is a no issue with that. But other languages from the backend like C sharp or Python or like that, so there is a return is a mandatory. But in the in the JavaScript, it is not mandatory. So if you want to return the values, then you can return use the return. So there is the arrow functions also. So I'm showing you a small example for you. So right now we are using the function xyz, and this type of the sorry, this type of the function code we are using in it. So okay, so here we are um, suppose return. So we are using this one, but when in the traditional JavaScript we are using the arrow function. So arrow function is very simple. We are going to convert that is a const xyz equals to bracket arrow the bracket, and it is a return hello. So both are the same. So these are the arrow functions, and that is the normal function. Their way of defining the function is different, but the functionality is the same.
Okay, what is the use of using normal function and arrow function in particular?
So in the React.js,
Okay.
you will see the lot of the arrow functions, because arrow functions are very small and very easy to use. So if you are using that, this is a single line of that.
Yeah, correct, correct.
Okay, so write that whenever you are traversing any of the array or object, then it will be very easy to use the arrow functions.
Okay,
Okay, so it is very compact and
okay.
easy to use. Nothing else.
Nothing
The
else. Okay,
functionality on the features are the same on the
okay,
both side.
okay.
Okay, so object and classes. So you know about that the array, and like that we have object in the JavaScript. You can create your objects. So like that here const employee data is a name, age, city. Okay, so this is the object, and these are the properties of this object. So like that you can create your own object. You can create your uh, have you heard about the JSON object? So JSON object is a work on this
Yeah,
credential
correct,
phase.
correct. I will. Yes.
Oh, okay, so like for example, I'm showing you. Suppose const my object equals to, this is my simple object, that is a name. Oh, sorry, I'm not taking the name. Is the f name, first name. Okay, so these are suppose this object have the two properties, that is the first name and last name. But yeah, if you are want to call any of the or write out any of the values from there, so it is very simple. Is a log. I'm using the my obj dot. If I'm using the first name, it is the first name. So it will print my first name. Like that, you have the collection of the employees data which have containing the first name and last name. Then you can you can create your array object for that, like the const my. So, and here the array object will start from the array, but inside of that you can pass the multiple of the records in it.
Yes.
Okay, so like that, comma this, like that you can assign lot of the values in it. So the question is that how we can fetch the values from there. as you know that this is an array, every elements have some indexes, 0 index, 1 index, and a 2 index. So if you want to the first index of the value, then you need
Yes,
to set
correct.
0, and
Correct.
you will get the first name from there is a Subodh.
Both. Yes.
Okay, so like that, the objects are working. Now we have the classes also in the JavaScript, so we can create the class like that. So here the simple method to create the class is the class name, and the bracket start bracket 1. So here we have the constructor also, but if you are not using the constructor, there is no issue with that. But what is the constructor? So constructor is whenever the class object is going to create, the constructor function will call. The constructor function have different types, is a parameterized or non-parameterized. If you are using the parameterized constructor, then you need to pass the some values whenever you are going to create an object of that class. If you are using the non-parameterized constructor, then you don't need to write the um, and you don't need to pass the any values uh, inside of the class whenever you are going to create the object. But question is why we are using the constructor? Whenever you want to assign the value on the creation of the object of that class, then we are using the constructor.
It's like default values to a class. Yes, correct.
Okay, or if you want to pass the any value from outside of that class and want to assign the value inside of the class whenever the class object is going to create, then we are using the parameterized constructor. Okay, so how it's working? So let's see. So it is a simple class, my class. Okay, so if I'm not using any of the constructor, then simple, I'm going to create a suppose a variable. Oh, sorry, I'm going to create a function first. Uh, my function. Okay, so this function contains some suppose return a value 10 plus 20. Now I'm just going to create a object of that class. Now here I don't want to pass any of the thing because we have no any construct parameter constructor. We are just going to create an object for that. So here we need to pass a new keyword. The new keyword is using to create a new object for that class. Here, suppose I'm using the CLS object and dot. My function is a function which is created inside of that class. I'm using that and I'm going to write this return value in my console dot log. Here you can see that my function is returning the value is a 30.
Correct.
10 plus
Okay.
20. If I am passing the any I'm using the any parameterized function here, so I'm passing the value here a comma b, and now a plus b. Okay, now in this case I need to pass the value of my function, the 5 comma 4. So you can see the value of that is 9.
Correct.
Like that, if we are using the any of the parameterized function in it, oh sorry, constructor in it, constructor, there is no any parameter in it, but I am initialize the value a is equals to 20, b equals to 30, and now I'm not using this one and simply using a and b, and I'm not going to pass any of the value from this function. You can see that this is a 50
Correct.
because these are the initialized value.
Correct.
Whenever the object is going to create, then these values are initialized by the constructor, and these values are available inside of the my class. Okay,
Correct.
now if you are want to pass the value from outside of the in the class whenever the object is going to create, then you need to pass the values from here. So here, uh, fl, suppose I'm, and as well, first value and second value. So f well is the value of that, and as well for that value. Now I don't need to pass inside of this, but I need to pass inside of this whenever I'm going to create the object of that class. So here I'm going to 5, 50, and 30. Save. Now see what is the output of it is 80.
Correct.
50 plus 30 is 80. So it is passing from there. The value is assigned inside of the class variable, and class variable is using inside the function.
Correct.
Okay, so like that we can use the classes.
How
And
it is understanding the class object, CLS, that is
can
um,
you can you please repeat what you are saying?
that class object CLS. It's
Class
a
object.
predefined. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh, Let me explain the in the different way. Okay. So the class. What is the class? Class is a set of the variables, set of the functions, set of the properties which are assigned inside of it. Okay, this is a block. Okay, so you are assigning here, we are assigning here an function. So
Right.
this function contains the some logic inside of it and return something to you. Okay, so if you are going to directly try to access this function from outside of this class, you cannot do that. For
Mhm.
this, you need to create a object of that class. Okay, so
Okay.
once you are going to create an object of that class, you need to use the new keyword. Without new keyword, you cannot create the object of that class. The first of thing. Okay. Once the object has created, so this line is going, sorry, this line is going to create your object and
Okay.
pass that object to your variable. Now, this variable is able to access all of the properties, all of the methods from whichever is available inside of this class. We cannot access the constructor through the object variable because constructor are going to execute every time whenever any object is going to create for that class. It is a inbuilt. Okay, but whatever you are going to create inside of that class, like a function or any type of the object, then you can access that. So here by this map variable we can access by with the my function. So that's why it is going to execute here. Now come to the constructor. So whenever we are writing the constructor with a parameterized constructor. These parameters are any of the parameter in it. One, two, three, four, five, any of the number of the parameters we can pass in the constructor. So why we are using the pass the parameters? The parameters are using whenever any of the value from outside of the class we need to provide inside of that class, then you need to use the parameterized constructor. And these values, whatever you are passing in the constructor, these values can be accessible inside of the class of anywhere. So suppose there will be another function, it's a my function 2, and I'm using here a return this dot a minus this dot b. So here whenever going to pass the 5030, so 5030 is assigned to these variables a, and 30 will be assigned to the b variable. Now everywhere I am using inside of the class, a and b have the same value. So whenever in the starting I need to assign any value, then we are using the constructor. If we don't want to assign any value of the starting, you cannot use or you can avoid the constructor directly.
Yeah, got it.
Got it?
Yeah,
Any question? Doubt?
yeah, clear.
Clear. Okay. Thank you. This is Gaurav, right?
Umesh.
Umesh. Okay. One second. Okay. And Tarak, what about you?
I'm
Hello?
clear.
Yeah, Tarak?
Yeah, I'm clear. I'm saying.
Okay. Ganesh, I think you saw.
Yeah, I'm clear. I'm understood.
Okay. So move to the another one. So here we have learned about the object and classes of the basic. Now we are moved to the array and destructuring. So now I'm showing you the array. Hmm. So is there a const my array equals to, suppose there is a country list of the array is a India, Japan, Pakistan. Okay. So here we have the array. Now I want to find the index of that array where the value is India. So there are a lot of the ways. First way I'm showing you for, and I'm using the where I equals to 0, I is less than my array dot length I plus plus, right? So this type of functionality we have, we can traverse each of the um, country items and find out where is the India. So like here, if my array I equals to India, and we can uh, set any value, index value 0 set as a default, and here index value is equals to I. So if it is match, we are passing the I. So it is the way, one way we can get the index value. But we have the shortest and fastest way have the in the JavaScript also. Suppose I am as a const and my well equals to my array and dot find index is a directly a method, and we can pass them item equals to India, and you can see the console.log my well. So there are the things that what I'm saying to you. So the thing is that if we are going to and every time with the oldest of the way of the JavaScript, then it is a lengthy. But if you are accepting the new concept of the JavaScript, then it is a very small and inbuilt functions are available. A lot of the inbuilt functions are available there. So this is a one way to find the indexes. Like that, if you want to traverse out of the every uh, the the array elements, then how you can do that? There is a one way, that is the for each, the um, for loop here. So we are going to traverse every of the um, variables here. Now we have another method, that is a map. So what is the map method is basically, so map method is returning the set of the array. Okay, array, it is getting the value from the array and returning the set of the array. So if you want to add any of the values inside of this functions, inside of these values, like India one, Japan one, or Pakistan one, I want to add the one of after the name of that, then there is a way. One way is that I am using the for loop, and instead of this I am going to update them. That is my array, and I equals to my array I and plus 1. Okay, it will return, uh, it will be adding one by one inside of that, every of the values. So India one, Pakistan one, Japan one, so everyone have the one value in the end of that. The another way is that I am going to create a const, and my next array. So here my array is that, and here is the map method. Is a map method. There is an item, and here you will write the item plus 1. So console.log, writing the my next array. What will happen here? So you can see that India one, Japan one, Pakistan one added here. One is because we have already added in it. So if I commented that, then you can see that only one. So here you can see the India one, Japan one, Pakistan one. So it is a very easy, and it is going to return a new object. But if you are again see that the console.log and your my array, there is no change in it. This is as it is. So means that whenever you are getting any of the data from outside through the API or something, then you can preserve inside that variable only. But if you want to make any operations on it and want to use any of the anywhere of your application with the updated values, then you can simply create a new array without any copying or something like that. It is containing your only the updated data with the previous data. So it is returning the array. Map is the returning the array. If you are not using any on modification and just like that, you can simply see that copy of that array is coming in the map provided by the map. So map is just traversing your data and returning whatever you are writing inside of that logic. If you are going to update, modify anything, then you can modify that. Otherwise, you can do any of the other logic, then you can do that. For example, here I am using that if item equals to India, then the value should be written IND. So here you can see that whenever the things are going to, this is
The
undefined.
value name is incorrect. I should be caps. Item equal to if sum.
Yeah. Okay. So here you can see that the whenever the item is going to equal, then it will return the IND. But if any other is not equal, then it will not return. So it is undefined. If you want to return every time, so you can write the else part and return item. So you can see that here now the India is the IND and Japan is Japan, Pakistan, Pakistan. So like that you can, it is your logic, whatever logic you want to implement on it and make another set of the data for that. Then you can simply use that. Anyone have any question with the map?
No.
No,
Okay,
nothing.
because we will use the map methods and lot of things in our coming React.js. Okay. So now here we have used the find index. We have see that how you can use the map. Now what is the destructuring? So destructuring is the basically the set. So whenever you are going to create any object, any array, okay, so you are using an array with the first name, last name, so there are the indexes there. But if you want to set to make an array but with the name of that, so how you can do that? So like that you can use like this. So you need to count the username. Username contains the two things: the first name, last name, and you can pass them is a Subodh as the first name and last name as Kumar. So whenever you are using the username dot first name, we will get the Subodh. Like that, whenever you are going to the uh, this is the set of object basically. Okay, so there are the properties for that. So whenever you are using the name and this is the again the set of object, and here is the name is going to Subodh and age is 32. So like that I'm showing to you. Const, I'm using the my name, age, and here my name, age 30, and here if you are using the console.log and my name. So you can see the Subodh. If you want to provide the any last name for that, it is using username. So now you can use the user name instead of the my name. So it will again show you the Subodh. So these are the destructuring. This is calling the destructuring because we are going to destructure the array elements inside of the variables. So we are using the variable names instead of the 0, 1, 2, 3. Spread operators. So spread operators are the very important operators in JavaScript, which is provided by the JavaScript, not the um, React.js. You can use the Java spread operator inside of the JavaScript, inside of the React, inside of the Angular, any of the language which is supporting the JavaScript. So what are the spread operators? Spread operator is the copy of the array element. Okay, suppose uh, I am using the, so I'm showing you the first one. So suppose there is a we have the country that is a array, India, Japan, Pakistan, and we have the new country also, a new country variable that is only one value, that is a London. I am going to merge the two these countries. So how it is? It is a country, comma, new country. So if we are using this one, so how it's showing, and if we are using the this and this, how it is showing, we are showing to you. So suppose I have a country and I have another country also, new count, and now I want to merge these two countries values in a single array. So suppose I am using the new array mcount, and now I am my count and new count. Suppose I am doing that. So it is showing that we are going to merge two array element in a single array, right? But this is not, this is showing you a different thing. If you are saying that, sorry, console.log mcount, so you can see that we have the two array instead of the elements, they are merged the arrays. In the first element the another array, in the second element is another array. We don't want, we want to add this London in a single array. So for that, if we are using the const my, let's see, count, suppose 1 equals to, now this time I'm using the spread operator of my count. So what will happen? Spread operator is not adding the object. Spread operator is providing the object items. Okay, so if the this one and write the console.log count 1, so you can see, a second, oh, it is already converted my count. Now you can see that this is copy the array items inside of the another array. Now I'm going to merge the another array. So I need to use the spread operator again and new count for that. The first one is that and second one is that. Same thing we have done this thing and same thing we have done with the spread operators. Now you can see that India, Japan, Pakistan and London. But if we are going to directly here without a spread operator, it will be added the as a object. inside of the array. Anyone have any question with the spread operators?
Nothing there.
Okay, fine. So like that, you can also use with the object also. So there is a user, the name is Subodh and age.
And it should have unique values, right?
Unique value means,
Just go back to the code.
yeah, sure.
Okay. M count line number 9. M count has line number 5. It should have both, right? Suppose if you remove n count, new count,
Yeah.
so what it
Actually,
prints?
I'm going to comment this one. Okay,
Okay.
right now
Okay.
this
My
is an
count.
array.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
one.
fine. Yeah. That's why I confused. I mean, in line
Hmm.
number fifth, it is mentioned m count, right? So I confused. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it
Now
is
I'm
clear.
clear. Yeah. I mean, if
That's
you
good.
give duplicate, then what happens? If I give
Yeah, it
London two
will be
times,
added duplicate. It will add the duplicate. Suppose I'm using the India.
okay,
So you
okay.
can see
It
the India,
shows India
Japan,
only.
and
Okay.
Pakistan and India. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So like that, you can work with the uh, objects. So here we have the two properties for that, and we are using the merge the one property with this object. So it will be adding it. So like that, what's work? The const my prop of name. Okay, and now here I'm using the merge and want to merge the this property with my another properties. Suppose I have a age, and now I want to merge my previous properties which are now we are getting from anywhere, and now it is console.log. You can see prop, and here I'm going to, yeah, console.log my prop. So this is m prop, this is my prop. My prop is getting some properties, but I am merging these properties which I am getting from somewhere with my properties, with my external other properties also. If you see that these are the properties which I am getting from outside, and these are the properties which I am merging with these properties. Okay, like that you can work with the objects also. Okay, so these are the spread operators which are working with that. Now we are moving to another session with the React.js. So do you want to any break for 10 minutes or want to continue with that?
Yeah, we can take. And previous slide we have push. What it does?
Okay, push. One
Yeah.
second. I'm showing you the push.
Add array elements.
Okay.
So here, suppose you have an array, okay, and my ARR, and there is a India, Japan. Okay, I have no any Pakistan. So if you want to add the any of the new element inside of this array,
Mhm.
okay, then how you can do that is the my array dot push. Push is the suppose Pakistan. So if you are using the console.log, here my array, and here you are using the console.log my array. Now you can see that before that is the India Japan, but now I have pushed with the Pakistan.
So we can
Okay,
use the position also.
how you can use the
Position, index. Particular
position means?
index. If
No,
I want
he's
to put
asking
Pakistan at
by
No,
default
no,
it
no.
0 level.
adds the last element. Did you want to
Yeah.
increase it in between, say for India and Japan, you want to insert Pakistan? How would you do it? That is what he's asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So like that you can push inside of the any of the element inside of the array in the last, which is where adding the elements in it. Okay, these are the things. Okay, so let's. What is the time right now? It is 10:25. So we will meet at the 10:40. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So 1 minute, sir. Can you
Uh,
show this VS Code thing?
yeah, please.
Now, if you want to add Pakistan in between India and Japan elements, how do you do it? Is there
So
any
there is
possible?
another method.
That
Okay. So that method is to provide the index as well as the values.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
sir.
So we will meet at the 10:40.
Okay,
Okay, and we'll start the further.
okay.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hamish. Tarak. Ganesh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tarak
there.
not there.
Okay, Ganesh.
Yeah, Tarak is there.
Okay, and Ganesh.
Yeah, Ganesh also is there.
Ganesh is also there.
Yeah, I can see another
He said
Ganesh.
he is on mute.
Yeah, under any counts, I would like to ask two questions. That spread operator, which version of Java it will work? I mean, JavaScript it will work.
Spread operator is for the JavaScript.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, from which version it's got introduced? I just want to know.
Can you please repeat and speak loudly?
Yeah. So the spread operator, right?
Uh-huh.
Spread operator when it's introduced.
So spread operator is coming with the advanced version of the Java, so JavaScript, and it is working with the JavaScript.
Okay.
It is not belongs for the React.js, not belong for the any of the specific framework or library. It is a JavaScript function.
Okay. Like we have HTML, HTML5 and HTML6, like versions we have, right? Kind of any versioning is there. In some version it's got introduced.
Uh, if we are have a HTML file and you have a separate HTML file and the separate JavaScript file, it will work with the JavaScript file, not with the HTML file.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. One more thing. Like in React, are we the whatever the concepts that you covered, are we are going to use in React, right? Till now.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
We
object
are
copying
basically
comes
we
under
are.
that. It won't come.
Pardon?
Object copying.
Object copy. Yeah,
Copying.
I'm not understanding. Can you please repeat?
Object copying. Deep copy.
Yeah, object copy is a spread operator copy. So whenever you are using the spread operator, then it is going to copy of your the content, not in the object. Yeah.
Spread operator will merge the object into another.
Spread operator is the
merging the object into another object, right?
no, actually not merging. If you wants to merge, then it will merge. If you don't want to merge, it will copy the content.
Okay. Okay. Then
It is depend on you.
okay. What we select? Okay.
So if you are saying that we are going to use the spread operator for merge, this is a wrong answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So can we start if Ganesh is available?
I'll give him a call.
Yeah,
He's not
please.
showing. I'll give him a call.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. I just came from breakfast. Sorry for taking
No,
time.
no issue. No issue, Ganesh.
Yeah.
So can we start or one?
Yeah, we can start. Yeah, we can start. Tarak will just call me. Yeah, he'll be joining now. Yes.
Okay. Okay. 1 second. So anyone have any question query till now?
No, nothing else, sir. Nothing else.
Okay. So uh, before moving to the React, we are going to learn one more concept, that is an import export. Okay. So right now we are going to use the text, the JS file directly in HTML. Okay. So this is a JS. Now I have suppose this is a this dog. Hello. Now suppose I have one more file. Okay, that is again the JS file, and this file contains some value. Suppose let xyz equals to, okay, I want to use this file in my application, means the HTML. So what will I do? I will add the another script tab here and add them, or I will provide the uh, if it is a good, if I am able to provide this reference directly in the txt file, and this reference is already used inside of this HTML file. So instead of the multiple of the script I'm using in it, I am using a single script file as a reference from here. Whenever this file wants the any of the components from the other file, I want to provide directly the reference of the another JS file inside of this one. So how we can do that? This is a very simple for that. It is a import export which is providing by the JavaScript. So here this is a simple, the let xyz equals to hello Subodh. So this is a variable. I want to get this variable value inside of this text. So if I'm going to use that the import and the name of the util, this is my file name from where it's the util.js, and now I am going to use that console.log and util dot. I have a method, the function, though sorry, I have a uh, variable name is xyz. Suppose I am using the that xyz directly here, so it is showing me an error right now. So what's the error is that? Let's see. Okay, syntax error cannot be import statement outside of the module. Okay, so the first of thing is that whenever you are using import and export thing, you need to use the inside the HTML file, you need to do the type. So type would be the module. Okay, so here I'm getting the another error 404. It is showing on the util.js file. So it means we are not able to access this file.
Yes.
Okay, so why we are not going to access? Because the path is okay, everything is okay, but I'm not able to do that.
The
So the
util
reason is that
variable is not exported. You have to export
yes,
that XYZ variable now.
exactly. So we need to export that variable first, and after that we can use them outside of that. So here we need to export. So export keyword is used to export them, and here we can use the util is again the file, the name of our file, and this is the import of that. So let's check once again. Util.js. Okay, and now here why it is going to again and again. The export is okay. The file name is so okay. One second. No,
I think JavaScript saved
no.
dot two dots.
One second.
Util.js did two dots.
What is here? .js. It should not .js. It should be there .y.
No, his file is same. Util dot dot.
Util
Util you
.js.
have two dot js, right? The file name you saved as two dot js.
I have my file name is util.
No, two dots.
Sorry. Yeah, it's my mistake. That's why I'm saying why it is not working. Rename. No need to do that right now. Util name default. What is the default? Okay, 1 second. Remove this one and remove this one. Now here it is export default. So if you are using the default and use that, then you can see the undefined is that because you can do that.
Or if you want to
Sorry,
use
XYZ is
named export,
XYZ is not available.
uh,
XYZ is not available.
yeah, now it's correct. There on util,
This
you have
is
to change the
use.
name, sir.
1 second.
Util.js.
No, I have
Util.
not. 1 second. 1 second. So, yeah, what's the problem? Now you can see the hello world. So hello world is the basically this is the default value. The
Okay.
default this is a export default. So
Hmm.
we are providing the default value back to this one. Okay, but if I don't want to set the default value and want to send some uh, particular variable values inside instead of the default, then how you can do that? So for that we need to do one second. So for that we need to define the things. So I'm going to comment that and write another line that is export, and this time I'm using the let xyz and here xyz equals to both, and now this one. This is a very simple. This is a export. I'm going to export a variable, particular variable. Now here, instead of the util, I need to pass the xyz. Okay. Now here I'm using the xyz instead of the util.
Correct.
Now you can see that here I will be pass the hell subodh. Like that you can add multiple of the variables or objects you can here. So you can see the export let abc, that is a Kumar, and here now if you are going to access the abc, then you cannot do that directly here. You need to add first inside of it. Now we don't use the xyz because we are not using it, so we are just using the abc, and you see that abc value is coming here. If you want the both, then you need to import the both variable and you can add them. Now here you can see that both values are coming in here. So like this is the way to import and export. Give me a minute. Okay, sorry. So this is the import exporting which we are use in our React.js, and you can import any of the value, any of the variable, any of the object from one JS file to another JS file, and you can import them and export them. Okay, so now we come to the React.js. To install the React.js package from the Node.js, you need to first install the Node.js, the latest version in your machine. This is our first requirement, and then we need to use the npm commands on it. So right now I am executing one command for you here. So here, whenever you are going to create a new object, new replica of your React application package, then the command is npx create hyphen react hyphen app. This is a syntax and space with your folder name or the application name, what you wants to create them. So here I'm going to create a training hyphen app, the name of my application. It will be the folder name also, and I'm using the npx create react app. That is the command for to create the package for that. So it is going to install, and after the installation is completed, it is showing such that. Okay, so here the installation has completed it. So these are the some files. So how these files are working and how what is the meaning of these files which are they providing to us. So let's discuss discuss on it. Before that, we are going to execute my application. So how we can execute? So it is very simple. Go to the command and go to that folder name which have you created for your application, and here type the npm start. So it will be start your application on your local machine with an the port ID. Okay, so by default they are providing some HTML things which is directly execute on your browser through the React application. So now it is going to build your application first time and will execute them on the browser. So this execution is basically depends on your machine. So it may if it is fast, then it is go fast. Slow your machine, it is slow rendering for that. So now till now we are going to see the what are the things available in this package. So first of all, you can see the node modules. Node modules, this is the set of the packages which are using in your application. By default, npm is providing the lot of the packages with you in your React application. You can see which is the um, important to execute your React application as a first time whenever you are executing them. So here, like you can see that the Babel. Babel is again the again a package which is responsible to convert your code, the JSX code, for the browser compatibility, so the browser can understand your code easily. So like that, whenever you are going to add your own npm packages in your feature in your application, then the packages will insert in the node modules only. So this is the containing the node module of the packages, whatever packages you are using in your application. Now, so this is my React application, which I executed here. You can see that compiled successfully. You can now view the training app in your browser. The local the local host is a 3000 is your port, and on the network this is your IP address and 3000 is your port. So by using these URLs, you can execute your application anywhere in your machine is a local host, or if your machine is connected with any network, then you can use this of the URL. So this by using this URL, the application will execute on another machine also if it is connected with your network. Now after that package compiled and successfully. So after the compilation, you can see that this is a page which is showing on here. In URL, you can see that the local host and the 3000 is a port which is already created by the captured by the React app. And this is a simple page, but the page name is not available in the browser. And you can see that this is some image and there is a text and there is a link. Okay, let's see. Let's see in our code. So we have discussed in the node module, there is a public folder. This public folder contains the public type of the assets. So like a logo, like some HTML files or the some things which you are show as a publicly. So if you are seeing that there is a logo, so logo is this one. So like that, they are providing some examples for us. Okay. Now, before I will come back to the public sector again. Before that, I am going to the SRC. So SRC is containing all of your activity files. So we are in future, whenever we are working on an application, most of the work are going in the SRC folder only. We are going to create a components. We are going to modify the components only inside of the SRC. So SRC contains the our CSS file, our JS file, our images assets. So all of the assets can set in the SRC and we will work on it. Here is the package lock.json. So package lock.json is a JSON file which containing the React version, React DOM version, React script version. So all of the version informations are available inside of that. Whenever you are going to add any of the module, npm module in the node module, then all such informations are available also in this package log.json. We will not do any changes in this package.log.json. That is a package JSON. Package JSON is again contain the set of the versions as well as your debugging script commands. So here you can see that the scripts, to start the scripts, we have added the start, build, test, and eject. So like that, we are by default these are the available here. If you are removing these things, then it will not work. If you remove the start, then npm start is not work. So like that. So these are the basic the debug split commands. So we never goes to change them. Come back to the public first. So if we are seeing here, we have the HTML file. So if I'm seeing the HTML file here, these are some HTML contents available here. So this index.html file is our first page. Whenever our application is going to execute, this HTML file will execute first on the browser. We have only a single HTML file. We have not more than one HTML file in the React.js. React.js is a single application, single page application. Okay. So here you can see that there is a HTML, metadata, such type of information. And you can see here, if I'm goes to the some down, there is a title is a React app. If I'm goes to the browser, then you can see the title is a React app. If you see that you need to enable the JavaScript to run this application, it's a no script. Okay, but we have a div element here where the ID is equals to root. This div, this div is a responsible to show your content on the form on the browser. So everything which you are going to create in React.js, one component, two component, any of the component you are going to create will show only a single div. That is a root div. Inside of this root div, the component will show. So the question is that we have created the root, we have created the div, the ID, the HTML file, then how it is going to rendering. So now we goes to the src folder, and by default there is a app.js. App.js, you can see here app. This is a component. The name of the component is anything. By default, the React.js is providing a default component that is app. So here app is a component where the some simple basic code is available here. If you can see here is added src app.js, the save to reload. And you can see here this is the same edit src and save to reload. So this content is coming from this component. Okay, and like this there is a link, the learn React. So this is a link learn React. So you can see that every of the component is from this component, that is the app. But how the app is going to execute on the HTML page? So here we have the index dot. If you can see that we have a root where we are getting the root element, the React DOM from the React DOM. Actually, there is a two type of the DOMs available in the React: the virtual DOM and the real DOM. React is working on the virtual DOM. So the virtual DOM is a replica, is a copy of the um, of copy of the DOM. Whenever any of the changes are going to update, the React will update in the virtual DOM, and virtual DOM will change only that part of the DOM, whatever that part is going to change. So that instead of the rendering all of the page, only that piece of the code or that piece of the component will render only, or re-render. But the entire of the page, other components or the other elements will not re-render. So React is using the virtual DOM, that is a React DOM, and in React DOM that is create a root, and that root would be the that root which is available in the HTML index.html, that is the id is equals to root, and it is getting the get element by id as a root. Okay, so once you are get once you got the root, that is a div, that is element is a div, then it is going to render inside of that root, the root dot render inside of the div. It is going to render what render, that is a app. This app is importing from here, that is a app, the app.js is going to import from there. How it is importing? Because we are providing the export default app. Remember, in our previous example, we have seen the export default hello subodh. So we are providing the text as a default. Now here we are providing the default export for particular component, that is a computer particular function. Function is calling here as a component. So we are export the whole of the component as a default. So whenever you are importing the app, by default it will be importing all of the component from there, and now here you are going to show the app. Whenever the app component is added here and it will exit in the rendering the app component, then it will goes to the app.js. In app.js it will return the HTML content whichever written in here. Okay, so like that you can see that here is import the two things. The first is a logo. There is a logo.svg, that is a file. This is a file which is going to import there, and the other import is the app.css, that is a CSS file. This is a CSS file which is by default created, and now you can see that logo have the logo, but CSS have no any alias name here. Okay, if you want to give that, then you can give, otherwise you can skip that. Now the logo is using as a src, and the whenever you are using the class in the React.js, then you need to use the class name. This is a keyword instead of the class. In HTML we are using the class, but in React.js we are using the class name. So like that, this HTML file is going to create here. Anyone have any question till now?
No, sir, nothing else.
Okay, good. So now we are going to create our small component for there. So I'm going to create a file that is employee.js. So how we can going to create our custom component? Then this is the way how you can go to create a custom component in React.js. So there are the two ways you can create. Basically, the React have the two type of the component. That is the function based component and the class based component. Okay, so what is the difference between them? The class based component have a cycle method. Okay, but in the function based component we have not the cycle method. We need to import them. So in this course we are focusing on the function based component instead of the class based component. Okay, so now in the function based component there are the two ways to create the components. The first one is the simple, that is the function employee, and here we need to return okay, and in the last we need to export them. So if we want to use this employee inside of the app, then we need to import them. Now I need to use that employee in somewhere in my application in this page. Suppose I am using that here, employee, and is closed. Now I'm saving that, and you can see that my hello is available here as a component. So this is a the basic and small component which is returning the hello. Okay. Now I have a employee data in it. So how we can do? And one more thing, if I want to convert this employee method as a arrow function, then how you can do that? It is simple. Remove the, and instead of the const, write equals, and this is the arrow function. So you can see that this is the arrow function. There is a no change in it. It's just this is a syntax to way to represent the things. Now, suppose I have a variable that is a employee list equals to, and we have an simple the emp name, emp id, emp age, like that. And I want to show the employee list item in this div. Then suppose I am using the employee list dot emp name. Okay, and I'm just writing the name, enter, and now suppose I'm providing a bracket here and div employee list dot emp id, and one more div employee list dot emp age. So if I'm going to save them, then it is showing me an error. Okay, if I remove the all of these two things, let's see it is working or not. Yeah, it is working. It is showing the run. But whenever I'm going to add two more things, it is showing the error. Why? Because React says that whenever you are going to return the things from any of the component, it should be a single one. This should be not a multiple. Here we are going to return the multiple of the items from this component. The first div, second div, and third div. So how we can do that is a single one. It is very simple. We make a parent div for that. Inside of this parent div, we will provide, we will return the child div, but we are going to return a single component, single return, not a multiple return. That's why it is working fine. So you can see the Raja, the employee ID, and the age. Anyone have doubt here?
No, sir.
It is a very important thing because most of the time the starters are facing such type of errors. Okay. Now the problem is that if you are using the div or any element, it will take just some space on the browser. It might be the problem with your page whenever the multiple of the components available. So div can be make a issue for that only for the UI purpose. So for this, React is providing two ways. You can put them as a blank, and you can see that there is no impact on it. But now extra div is not available here. If you are see, here you can see that the div is an app. Okay. Div is an app. Div is a Raja. And no div is this one. And so if I am putting the div side of it, then you can see that there is no effect on the HTML. There is no extra div is showing here. Okay. But whenever you are the multiple of the components in it, it will be impacted for that. So it is recommended that never use the div to return that until unless you have a requirement. Another way is a React dot fragment. Basically, this is called calling the fragment. Whatever you are using, it is calling the fragment. So React fragment is the keyword which is also used that for to um, make a bulk component for that. You need to import the React first. So import React from the React, and you can use the React.fragment. You can see that there is no any impact in the HTML, but it is showing React.fragment. So it is again the thing. This is the old one which is provided by React fragment, but now we are using only the blank. This is also called the fragment. Now the thing is that uh, this is single employee. Now we have the multiple of employees, then now I'm going to create some employee data. So now if I'm going to execute the same thing, getting the data from there, whenever you are going to save, first of all, whenever you're going to save, it is going to execute or rebuild your code again and again, and it will showing the here. After the executing here, it will showing here, but now it is not showing anything because the employee list and dot employee is not a directly the thing. So this is an array. Suppose you are providing the zeroth element, and so first element, sorry, zeroth element, and is the zeroth element. So you can see that now the zeroth element is showing here. Now the thing is that this code is available here. Suppose this is my uh, simple JS file which is connected with any of the third-party library or the third-party APIs and getting the data from here, and I want to pass them to another one. Okay, so now we are getting the data from there and we are showing the data here. Now I'm going to copy that and putting them as a third time. Now I'm going to the one and one, two, two, and two. So now I'm going to try to execute to show the data, all of the data in it. The first zero, second is one, and third one is a second. So now if I'm going to execute, then all of the data is available here. Is perfectly clear. But this is not a dynamic. This is a static. Now I need to do these things as a dynamic. So first of all, I'm using the another thing to do that. I need to use a loop for that. Hmm. So how I can do that? Making a loop for that. So if I'm seeing that in every of the component, the things are same. HTML part is the same. I have three divs, one, two, and three. Okay, and these three divs are going to repeating. So these three divs are the static for every of my uh, the displaying the component items. But these are the dynamic. So here, whenever you are using the things from top, it is using this bracket, and employee list is my an array dot map is a method to traverse every items within the array, and here we are using the item as a variable. You can write any name for that, and here is a bracket, enter. Suppose I am so map, what the map is doing? Map is creating the item and returning an array. But in this time, we don't need to return the array. We need to write the component items. So here I am using the div, but it will return anything. So it will return, and I'm going to return the div that is containing the item dot employee name, and close them. For the time being, I am going to delete these things. Now what will happen? You can see to rebuild. You can see the Raja, Mohan and King. The Raja, Mohan and King from each item is showing here. Now I want to show other items also. If I'm writing here is a div item dot employee ID. So here you can see that again I'm facing the error because React says you can return only a single element. You cannot return the multiple elements. So here we need to again combine them as a div. So parent div contains only a single element while it have the multiple of the childs. Now you can see that name and the employee ID both will show on the page. Name employee ID will show both on the page. Right now, if you wants to show the then you can see the item dot age. Anyone have any confusion, any issue till now?
No, sir.
Can we get the index here? Like, suppose if you want to print the number along with the items, objects values, right? Along with employee
Yes.
name, employee ID, employee age. Can we print the
Mhm.
index of the current item?
Yes, you can use. Here you can use a index. Okay, this is a key basically. So if you want to add a key element or you want to uh, show the index, then you can simply use that index. Or you can, if you want to write here, it is a div and here index. So here you can see it is going to compile. You can see it is a zeroth element, it is a one element, it is a two element.
Yeah, makes sense.
And one more thing, it is a very important thing. If you go into the console, you will see the some errors, some warnings basically. So what are these warnings? So one second. First of all, one second, remove that, and I'm going to refresh that again. Here you can see that each child in the list should have the unique key props. This is a warning. Whenever you are using the map method, there is a mandatory, the React.js is saying that please provide the unique key. That unique key should be with your parent div or the each of the child div. So suppose I am going to provide the unique key, that is key I am using inside of the child key. Instead of that, I'm using the parent key. So this will remove the error. So you can see the error has gone because div, the parent div is our a main div which is going to return. So this div, the React.js said, the map method and React.js says that we need a unique ID for every return component, the contents. Okay, because it is going to again. What is the use of the key? Key is used to manage your HTML component inside of the browser on the backend. That's why it is not error. This is a warning, because without the key you can work properly, but the browser are saying too difficult to to identify the same component, same set of the element which you are going to return through the map, because map is returning one by one of your element. Okay, any question, query?
No,
I am a little confused. Like using the key at the lower level in line number 26, if we use, we are getting warnings. Can you repeat that? Why it's giving a warning?
Line number 26, why was using that is not a correct way, that's why I'm showing to you. So if you are using instead of this, you are using this one,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So the problem is that you are returning a single div, and
Yes.
these divs are the child divs.
Yes.
So if you are providing the key inside of the child divs, then this is a no matter for the map or the React. They want the parent div as a key value. Means you can understand like that. You have an house. Okay. In this house there are the four rooms. If you are providing inside of the nameplate or the house number inside of your home on the top of your room, then it is not matter. It is matter on the main gate. Your house number and your name should be visible. Like that, if you are providing your inside of your div the key element, this is no matter. No one, the React and the browser cannot understand that. But if you are providing on the top of the parent div, then it can understand this is a unique key for the child also. So that's why we are not going to provide the such key here. Instead of this, we are going to provide the key, a unique key here. That unique key is anything. It is just not an index. It is anything. It might be a item dot employee ID. If your employee ID is unique, then it might be anything. It can be. Okay.
Okay.
If you are
Can
seeing
you
that
can use this
here,
like can we go to you? So can you right click and go to instructions on that div
which one div?
in the browser?
Okay.
On the down, it says down. Yes,
Go to
inspecting.
inspector.
Yes. Yes.
Here
Yes.
in the can you go to that part particular this listing we are printing? There. There.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this is we don't have the div showing here, na?
You have
The
not
main,
declared as a class name, no,
Yeah,
Tarak. If you have declared a class
this
name,
is
it will
it.
show.
no, actually that key we are defining to manage the manage in the browser. That's what the purpose we was saying. Okay.
Yes.
So here it is like the whatever the content.
But this is a no. You cannot see those contents directly in the DOM here in the directly elements. Okay, because most of the things are inside of the browser. To understand those things, these are not showing in it. The key is a keyword which is the captured by only the browser. It is not show here. If it is showing here, then it will be the what is the relevance for the hidden keys. For example, if you are if you know about the SQL, there is an indexing column. Okay,
Yes.
we are going to index on the column, but we cannot see the indexes. We cannot see the indexes. Which column have the which index? What is the index number of that column? We cannot see. These are the inside of that. So like that, these are the indexes for that for the particular component or the content which you are returning from the map method.
No, can you go to code?
Yeah, sure.
So you meant to say like here in line number 25 we have this
Mhm.
div.
Yes.
So will this be compiled and evaluated here and get it returned? Is it kind of like that it will work?
Yeah, it is actually whenever the first component is coming through the map method, it is executing and returning the parent div with a child div. Whatever you are sending from the parent div, it is a returning of the set. It is not showing in the form. If you can see that here, there is a parent div
Is it parent div? Okay, okay. Okay,
and
but
these
the
are
key
the
is not
child div.
showing here. So that key is not showing here. What if we use some
No,
class or ID?
key is not showing here because which class?
So,
Okay, these are the actually these are the hard parts. These are not the runtime thing.
voice is
You
muffling.
are using the ID is equals to root because it is a hard coded here. If you can say that it is a element ID.
Not about this. I'm not talking.
Whenever you are using the properties, whenever you are using the properties of any of the elements, it will show on the browser. Okay, but if you are adding anything, the hidden things at the runtime, it will not show. Now I'm showing to you. Suppose I'm removing this one. Okay,
Yeah.
the HTML code is nothing change, but
Hmm.
seeing compilers, you get the warning for that. Why? Because this is a backend things. Here you can see the warning. Each client is a list should have a unique key props. Props is a property.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So every element which have the same of the component, same of the return values should have the key. So browser can understand the things what they are returning. The first you are returning, what is the index for that? So browser can understand these are the different, but each of the have a same key, then browser cannot understand the differentiate between them. So DOM will be the confused on
Hmm.
whenever it's going to the execute again and again rendering the pages.
Okay.
So this is like a just a SQL indexing. Whenever you are going to update the value in the SQL, then the your finding is okay. You are going to find where the value is, where first name is this, is update that is okay. But the SQL is working on their indexing, which is inbuilt indexes. Like that, whenever the browser is going to render your component again and again, that it will understand by the key. Right now, this component, this element have the same key, this element have the same key, and this element have the same key or no key. So browser is confusing that is these three elements are the different or the same. because structure of these elements are the same. You are
Correct.
seeing you can see that the structure of the elements are the same. Each element structure are going to start and the
Your voice is
same
breaking. Yeah.
value is different. No worry about the value. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear,
Your
but
voice
your
is
voice
muffling.
is, yeah, it's breaking and causing a background noise. Yes.
Right now, background noise is. Are you facing background noise?
Yeah.
No, but breaks
Yeah.
are there. Voice breaking.
Voice breaking. Right now, what is going on? I don't know. It is connected with my Wi-Fi. Now it is okay, or it is still. Hello.
Yes. There's still that.
Yeah, it's little better now.
Yeah, a little better, but yes.
Okay. So let me know if you are facing the same issue again. Okay. So I'm continue. So there are the different three component, three elements which are returning here. So that's why we need to provide the unique key for that, because map is returning the set of array, and array should have the indexes. So that's why we are using the key. If we are using the key here, then you can see that the error which is coming from here, warning, basically warning is coming here, will remove. Okay, so this is the way to display the array elements